Hello and welcome to episode 17 of the Craving Crypto podcast. In today's episode, we are going to be updating the NASDAQ fractal as requested in the comment section below. So let's get right into this. Okay, so I'm at my document here. As always, you can find this document in the description if you want to follow along. I apologize for the backdrop being a basement. I'm currently in Saratoga Springs, New York. I do quite a bit of traveling, and that is where it brought me today. So let's get right into the market overview. Headed over to coinmarketcap.com. We are at 277 billion in market cap. The lowest low we saw was about 235. That's holding. We're looking to make another a higher low, meaning that we want somewhere between 270 and 250 billion dollars in total market cap to stick as a bottom. And if we can hold in that range, then we're expecting to see the 300 billion plus dollar levels again pretty quickly. So headed over to the top 5 coins, we see Bitcoin is at 133 billion in market cap. Price is 7,761. 24-hour volume is at 5 billion, and the 24-hour change is down 4.35%. Ethereum is at 44 billion in market cap. The price is $435. Volume is 1.7 billion, and the 24-hour change is 4.1% down. XRP is at 17 billion in market cap, 43 cents, $213 million in 24-hour volume, and the 24-hour change is down 2.2%. Bitcoin Cash is at 13 billion in market cap. Price is $773. 24-hour volume is just shy of 400 million, and the 24-hour change is down 4.34%. EOS is at 6.6 billion in market cap. Price is $7.29. 24-hour volume is about 690 million, and the 24-hour change is down 5.27%. So today we're talking about the Bitcoin and the NASDAQ fractal comparison as requested by Fetz in the comment section. He says, great paint tutorial, do an update on the NASDAQ fractal, it would be interesting. And Michael says that he agrees, so I went ahead and picked this as our kind of Q&A and also our title for today's video. So as you guys know, I'm on TradingView. If you don't follow me there yet, links in the description. At Dallin_Anderson is my TradingView profile. I made this post a little while back, which got me on the top traders on TradingView for about a week straight. And I just go over how I think that Bitcoin is a really, really great investment. And I show you how I've been telling people to buy since the sub $700 levels. You know, way back here when Bitcoin was super undervalued. And then I told people that it was going to go parabolic along this curve. And then I told people that it was time to get on Ethereum at the 3.9 levels. And then I showed how I shorted Ethereum. I basically just made a full-on TradingView post going over a lot of my predictions that I've made in the past, kind of giving people some point of reference so they know that they can trust me and, you know, and bet their money on my analysis without having to question whether it's a good idea or not. And so that's why I posted all these charts in the comment section, is me just proving, you know, ABC correction coming. Me just kind of proving my value here so that you know that you're not just putting your money in some random person's TradingView posts. And then I go to proceed to update this. I keep updating it, and I show the fishnet, I show the falling wedge, I show the gone square, and I show this falling wedge pattern. And right here on July 13th, I updated it because I knew some big movement was coming on the upside, comparing the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points of Bitcoin between 2017 to 2018 to the same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points on the NASDAQ between 1995 and 2003. So I knew that we'd get this breakout pattern. So I posted that update, and then I also posted why I don't think that this is the 2014 bear fractal that everybody is comparing Bitcoin to currently. They're all showing the same exact fractal, and they're like, hey, it's going to dump all the way to the 88% retracement at $2,000 and $3,000. And yes, it's possible, but as you can see, the comparison between the NASDAQ and Bitcoin is way, way more similar than Bitcoin and the 2014 Bitcoin fractal. There's just a complete difference in the way that these fractals look, and you can see that it's a lot more probable that we play out the Bitcoin NASDAQ fractal rather than the Bitcoin fractal. And you can see how I've broken this down kind of into the shorter time frame movement from about 11,000 down to the lowest low in Bitcoin, and comparing that same section to the NASDAQ fractal in that same period of time. And now I recently updated this. This is all public information. My VIP course gives you more details on signals of when to get out and when to get in. But this is all my public calls for Bitcoin, so I'm just sharing this with you guys today. This rocket ship right here is the beginning of the market cycle. The volume spike showing there's enough interest in volume to really get a huge cycle coming out of this. And then this little chat boxes is me representing, showing everybody's talking about it. Once the media starts talking about it. This little dollar sign is when everybody's starting to get really rich. And then the champagne glass at the top is new paradigm or party. We're all happy, excited, euphoric. And then you get the thumbs down, meaning, nope, I'm rejecting this price. We're not going to see any more upward movement from here. And that happened between 20,000 and 17,000, the champagne and the rejection. And then you see blood. That's also known as capitulation, where people generally go 100% into dollar tether because they cannot afford to lose anymore. And it's just a common thing that happens in market cycles. And then I've got this kind of meh face of people going like, I don't like this. And then the sad face of depression. And the depression phase of the market cycle is the lowest point, the highest potential for profit, and the lowest potential for risk. So taking positions in the depression phase is very lucrative. And then I've drawn this little flag, this little downward channel. And this happened in the 2003 kind of area here in the NASDAQ. Once we broke out of the NASDAQ, we sold off just a little bit. So going on CoinMarketCap today and seeing all this panic, we can correlate that directly to this little channel that I made on the NASDAQ and the Bitcoin comparison. So I do suspect Bitcoin to reverse back and see more upside growth. This seems to me like the same kind of panic that we saw in this little channel right after we broke out of the wedge of the NASDAQ fractal. So as you can see, we broke out of the wedge and then we made this little channel and we sold off just a little bit. Nothing intense. As you can see, nothing's down more than about 15%, 10% on CoinMarketCap. We're used to seeing a lot more blood, like down 20 or 30% sometimes in some serious sell-offs. So everything's just panic selling a little bit. And that's where I'm comparing this fractal to the bouncing and the panic that we saw in 2003 on the NASDAQ, and the same thing that we're seeing in July of 2018 for Bitcoin. So yeah, I'm still holding true to this fractal being very, very powerful. It's basically like the cheat sheet for Bitcoin. If you want to know what Bitcoin's going to do, look at that fractal. It gives you a lot of information. Obviously, if you don't understand trading, you might run into some issues trying to purely invest based on that decision, which is one of the reasons why I have a VIP course and teach this information and have signals so that it takes some of the weight off of learning how to trade those cycles. But you can see a very, very similar pattern occurring here between these two charts. And it's just an ABCDE falling wedge pattern. And it's the same thing that we've seen reoccurring in markets over and over again. So I really like comparing fractals. They are one of the most accurate forms of analysis. For example, in my mastermind VIPs, I was teaching them how to compare altcoin fractals, so that if you want to know what altcoins are doing next, you can compare their fractals without having to only rely on Bitcoin. So my mastermind's a very, very exclusive VIP section that I provide to people. And this is what I was teaching them, was the comparison between Litecoin and Qualcomm, which was another stock that was part of the internet bubble, which a lot of people like to compare the crypto hype or valuation cycles to. And as you can see, Litecoin did the exact flippin' thing that Qualcomm did in, between 1999 and 2003. Litecoin just did it in a smaller period of time, but the prices will continue to react in the same way. So it doesn't mean that we need to wait 10 years for Litecoin to recover, because Litecoin is about 10 times faster of its fractal in its cycle. So it will continue playing out the same thing, and I suspect upward movement coming in this as well. But it just goes to show how the crypto markets move significantly faster than the stock markets do. So I hope that answers your question for you and gives all of my viewers a nice update on the NASDAQ and Bitcoin fractal comparison. If you are interested in Coinigy, go ahead and use my sign up link here. BitMEX is right here as well if you want to do leverage trading. I don't recommend it for beginners. If you like what I'm doing, my donation address is here for Bitcoin donations. If you want to get into the VIP course before we increase the prices, go ahead and click on this link here. Here's the charts of the NASDAQ comparison. So if you want to look at these charts yourself, you can as well. Today's video is a little bit shorter, but we upload every Thursday and Friday as well. So stay tuned in for those videos. If you don't follow me on Twitter, High Altitude INV, this is another place that you can get updates on my analysis aside from TradingView. Thank you so much for tuning in today's video. I hope that you learned something. If you have any questions, go ahead and let me know in the box below. Also, just so you guys know, I am increasing the prices of my VIP course. I mentioned this a couple videos back, but that will be in effect as of tomorrow. So if you aren't in the VIP currently, today is your last day to get them at the prices they are. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in today, and I will see you guys in the next one. As always, stay profitable out there.